I'm excited to welcome you guys onto the JUCO series. We have the top players in 2021. Guys are going to be high-level players, and I just want to kick this off, though, discussing with you guys why you guys chose the JUCO route. It's a different route than just going D1 out of high school. Why did you guys start off, Souleymane? We'll start off with you.
Okay, so um I didn't spend my senior year in America, like in high school. So I went to high school in Thailand. Like I went there for my senior year because I had to go back home for some immigration like issues that I had. So and I couldn't come back, so I had to take that route, like go to Thailand. Then when I got to Thailand, I never thought I was gonna be able to come back here because it's very complicated when you get issue with the immigration once. So I didn't really think I was gonna come back, so I didn't really focus on that part. So at the end, I kind of said, you know what, let me maybe try give him one more try and see, man. And then it was too late, and the only option I could like the only route I could take was JUCO, and that's why I went JUCO, and it's only been great, man.
And Cole, we're going to start with you now. You obviously also took the JUCO route, and you and Souleymane are both teammates this upcoming season, but you take this route. Why did you choose the JUCO route?
So with the JUCO route, I thought that would have been the best thing for my career. Coming to America at the age of 14, that really like opened my eyes to what you really have to be a top player. I went to Montverde Academy my first 2 years coming here, so I was playing with R.J. Barrett, Andrew Navarro, Simi Shidu, Bruno Fernando. I seen how all them guys played, and like me as a 14-year-old, I see that, and I'm like, okay, now I know what I have to do. You know what I mean? So at first I was really like underdeveloped and I was very young, so I couldn't really like keep up with them guys at first. And then the years go by, and then I go to a school in Little Rock, Arkansas. So I went out there, Southwest Christian, and I just went to work. You know what I mean? Just worked out a lot. Worked on my game and my body. You know what I mean? Did that for 2 years. Graduated, and you know what I mean. My options coming out of high school were UC Riverside, UNC Greensboro, and TCU. And for me, myself especially, like being honest with myself, I really told myself like, okay, you can go to these schools, you know what I mean, and like start out being like a average mediocre player. And I really wasn't like I wasn't satisfied with that. So I really just told myself, just go for the JUCO route. And you know what I mean, coming here, with Coach Graham McMillan, it really helped my career and it really like took me to the next level. So last year, my first semester, it was tough, just adjusting to the game. You know what I mean? Not knowing a lot of things, it's like college. You know what I mean? When people think about JUCO, they think, oh yeah, no, this stuff's not really even like crazy or like, you know what I mean? Not competitive. But you know what I mean? You come in here and like it's dogs, you know what I mean? People fighting for like scholarships and everything like that. So you come in with that same mindset. And like at first my mindset was just like, okay, yeah, just do this 1 year, you know what I mean? And then do another year and get over it. But then, I had to quickly switch that. So around my second semester, I really just flipped the switch. I said, okay, yeah, I got to get on the same page as these guys and just really like, you know what I mean? Just start dogging, you know what I mean? So I just started dogging. I ended up averaging like 20 points a game. You know what I mean? A couple rebounds. I had like 9 rebounds too in that second semester. And you know what I mean? That really showed me, you know what I mean, what it really takes. And that really like inspired me to just keep pushing for what I want to do. And that's hopefully be an NBA player one day.
And there's this perception about JUCO that the typical basketball fan thinks that all the guys are going there because you guys didn't have the best grades in high school. And there are a lot more stories than just that. There are some that obviously have that case, but for you, you actually chose because you just wanted JUCO to develop. Why was that the reason?
I mean, for me, like I look at it as like a business standpoint. So, you know what I mean? You wouldn't want to go into like a big business deal without, you know what I mean? Like having all your stuff together, like at the end of the day, you want to be prepared as much as possible, so when you get to the stage, you're not going to like fold or you're not going to, you know what I mean, choke. So me choosing JUCO, I was like, okay, this is the perfect platform for me. I'm going to have college. There's going to be college workouts. There's going to be, you know what I mean, college level players. So, for me, looking at that was like, okay, yeah, it's looking like the best option for me. And you know what I mean? It really showed.
No doubt. And Souleymane, I mean, we're going to talk about you now. You just commit. You're going to TCU. Just knowing that you're committed, you know that you don't have to worry about the recruiting process anymore. What does it feel like?
But it feels great. Like I said, like right now, all I'm worried about is getting better for the next level. Like getting myself better, make sure every day I take care of my body and like get in the gym and make sure I take good care of my schoolwork too. It's like coming to JUCO. It shows you after your first year. It shows you like what you really hard like. What's your level? You're gonna know about all that. So that's why I went to TCU and TCU. They did a great job recruiting me. They did a very great job recruiting me, and I feel like it's a good fit for me, and that's why I'm going there. And after making my decision, I feel free, man. I feel free. I don't gotta worry about like talking to other coaches anymore, and I can just focus on myself now and get myself to that level.
AK, you're going out to Arkansas. You've been committed now for a month or so. What's it like to be committed and a member of Arkansas?
I mean, the Razorback family is amazing. They show a lot of love. The fans, they're insane. You know what I mean? For me, committing there was like pretty much a no-brainer because of, Coach David Patrick. He's like the assistant coach over there. And he's somebody that's been mentoring me since I was 14. So, having him around, it was just a no-brainer, you know what I mean? And like that Australian connection too, that made me say, okay, that's the perfect spot for me.
No doubt. And for you, Souleymane, I mean, you're a player that has developed a lot. I know you're adding a three-point shot to your game as well right now. And you have the size. I mean, you could play a modern-day stretch four, center kind of player. How do you look to translate that now to the college level and then eventually possibly even the pros?
I think that's gonna really help me because over the summer I was at school. I was the only one at school. My coach is like working every day, and I've been preparing for years, like being straightforward. That's how I've been trained. But like when I came in last year, like it was pretty tough for me. Like the competition that I was playing against in Thailand was not very high. But when I got here, it got really difficult. But this year I started to understand that and now the game is slowing down for me. And then now I feel like the way I'm going right now, it is my teammate, and you see whatever goes, I practice every day, and from that, I think I can be really good at college level, especially at TCU. It's gonna be a great fit for me because of what the coaching are preparing for me, and their dedication they're gonna have toward me. And if everything goes well, because I'm gonna make sure I always work hard and get in the gym, and AK is a witness of that too. And then after that, when I get to the college level and compete, I feel like after like maybe after a year, maybe I can get to the league. From what I know and from my work ethic and everything, I think I'll be fine.
You guys are teammates. I want to talk about each one of you guys individually. AK, you look at Souleymane. How excited you play with him this upcoming season?
I mean, playing with a big man like Sue, it's just amazing. Like having someone like that stretch the floor. You know what I mean? It's insane because when you're like the main guy on everyone's scout, it's like okay, you can't really do too much. And then when you got Sully on your team, like the focus really gets off of you. So that gives me a lot of freedom. It gives me a lot more time and a lot more chances to do whatever I got to do. You know what I mean, to get the win. So I mean, playing with Sully, it's amazing. Plans this year, just pick up from last semester. You know what I mean? Just pick up from basically where we left off at. And I was like, you know what I mean, losing the semifinals in the conference. But you know what I mean, we're coming back from that. I feel like that especially, that's going to be something that's really going to be special, especially for this year.
Souleymane, both you guys now have that kind of relationship you guys can form by both being guys from other countries and coming to America. What's it like being able to connect on that level?
Me and AK, like since last year, we had a great connection. Like me and AK played very well together. Like we got another big man called Brian Washington, and which we call like we all play together. Like that's how good we are. Like that's how good we are together. We play together, and I feel like next season we're gonna be unstoppable from cause like during the off season, like me, AK, Brian, we spent every time like we were laying beds watching films while we couldn't go work outside. So that really spending the game, like that really made it better for everybody. So I feel like we're gonna be good. We're gonna be unstoppable, especially AK. Yeah, and AK really opens up. Like last year, like when the season started, I was like the best scorer of the team, and then it got to a point where I was getting triple team, and
somebody had to step up, and a kid took that position, and that really helped me. And I feel like it's gonna be even better this year.
AK, as I said earlier, there's this kind of perception. I mean, a lot of people don't look at JUCO as highly. They don't think that JUCO has the potential of really doing that much. That people don't know basketball as well. We see a guy like Jay Scrub last year now go straight to the NBA in this upcoming draft. Other guys are being rumored of possibly doing that in 2021 and so on. Seeing the tension and just seeing the way JUCO's developed now, what's it like seeing that?
I mean, I think it's amazing, you know what I mean? And it's great to be a part of, you know what I mean? Like, you know, especially, you know, you got players like Jimmy Butler that came out of JUCO, you know what I mean? Things like that. And especially in a new era like this, it's like, it's kind of like going into like a whole new type of, it's like a whole new, like, it's a different age, you know what I mean? And like, I find that something like, it's crazy and it's amazing to be a part. Because, you know, JUCO players are often like the people that get doubted out the most, you know what I mean? So it's like, for that, like boosting up, you know, JUCO sports, it's just amazing, you know? And I feel great to be a part of something like that.
For you, Stu, we see how much and how quickly JUCO is developing, more and more tension, guys going straight to the NBA. Where do you see JUCO being at in 5 to 10 years?
In 5 and 10 years, like since like that guy Jay Scrub from last year, since he's getting drafted or maybe like getting a contract, like people give more respect to JUCO from that. Like JUCO gonna get respected, and like players that have like, you know, grades problem and not being able to go to Division I, like to the school that they want to go to, they might take the JUCO route. Maybe they might think that would be good. They might think that they would have the Jay Scrub like route too. So I feel like JUCO will be really, really good. Like in the next 10 years, it's gonna develop. It's gonna get better.
AK, do you see it being a lot more guys doing the J Scrub route and being able to go straight to the NBA out of JUCO?
Yeah, with JUCO, it's just like, it's a way to just develop yourself and develop your like game, you know what I mean? And, you know, for JUCO, it's like, I don't know, it's crazy, you know what I mean? Like when people think about JUCO, it's like, oh, you know what I mean? It's just JUCO, you know what I mean? But when you see something like that, it's like, okay, you know, now I really want to get into it, you know what I mean? And, you know, when there's guys like that, it really like, it opens up a lot of things, you know what I mean? And it opens up a lot of people's minds into like trying, you know, instead of going to like a big school where they know they're not going to do too much their first year, you know, give them like a second thought maybe, you know what I mean? And just try it out to see how it is for them.
We know JUCO doesn't have all the resources and money as maybe a high major does. They don't necessarily have all the nicest things. How has that in a way maybe humbled you guys, and what have you kind of learned from living that kind of life?
I mean, it teaches you how to love the game more, you know what I mean? You got to really love the game, especially do something as tough as JUCO, you know what I mean? And it's like, as much as we don't have like great facilities, you know what I mean? It's still like, you know, when you've got basketball, especially for me, if I've got basketball, it's just like, I don't really care what else is there, you know what I mean? But, you know, going to, Arkansas, which is insane, you feel me? It's like, wow, you know, now I'm going to have the treatment that I need, you know, that probably JUCO can't really like take care of me with. It's going to be a lot different. And I feel like that's going to really take my game to the next level.
Last episode, Langston Wilson, he mentioned something that's pretty key about you guys. You guys have 2 years, and that's kind of like a ticking time for you guys. If you guys don't get those offers in all in 2 years, basketball career might be over. What was that mindset for you guys, knowing that you might only have 2 years left of playing basketball and you have to prove yourself to be able to continue playing this game?
For me, I've been through a lot of stuff in my life. So what I think is, you can't control what's going to happen in the future, but all you can control is your work ethic and your attitude toward people and your character. That's it. That was my mindset coming to JUCO.
And same thing for you, AK. I mean, the same question. How was your mindset coming in knowing that you might only have 2 years left of playing?
Man, I mean, you really got to step it up, you know what I mean? Like, you really can't take no days off. You can't really slack at all. Like, you just got to go after it. Like, you know what I mean? You just got to keep going every day, you know what I mean? You can't take a day off, really. Like, you're really on your last limb pretty much. So you really just got to go all out.
For you, AK, when did it click that you realized you were going to be a high major player and you knew that you could really become an elite player?
You know, for me, ever since I was young, I always believed that I could really be something with basketball. So I've always had that belief in me since I was like a kid. But you know what I mean? It just, for me, it just took like just seeing it happen, you know, to like really believe it. But you know, coming into JUCO, I never really thought I was gonna be like a top player. But you know, I was always stayed in the gym. I always kept putting in work. So I just, you know, I wouldn't really even focus on that type of stuff. But like, you know, when you just work, I think, you know, everything just comes with it. And you know what I mean? That right there really just showed it a lot. And like, it's kind of crazy too, because it's like I've always been like doubted my whole life, and it's like, you know, now that I'm really coming up, it really shows like, okay, like, you know, anything is really possible for real.
And AK, to stick with you, you continue pulling offers. You have all this up until your commitment. What did it feel like just to look back and see that you did it? You have all these offers, and you're going to be able to go to a high major elite program like Arkansas.
I mean, it's a blessing, you know what I mean? It's a blessing, but you know, I just can't stay satisfied until I really like, you know, get to my ultimate goal. So like getting Arkansas, like I was, you know, I was blessed, you know what I mean? I was thanking God, I was thanking my family, you know, everybody for taking a chance on me too. So, you know what I mean? It was a real blessing. But like I just wasn't like when I got the commitment, when I committed, you know what I mean? It was amazing. You know, it was like 2-3 days after that where I was just like, okay, yeah, back into my mode. Like, gotta go back in the gym, gotta keep working because you're not where you want to be at.
Suli, I mean, go back 2 years ago. Did you see yourself being the guy that has 8 big-time schools and be able to go to TCU?
I mean, I think yes, because you know when I was here before, I had all the offers that I needed to get to Division One, but with my immigration issue, that's why I had to go. I had to take another route, and that's why I got in this situation. And you know, since I started playing basketball, you know, every time I work, I get better. So with that, I always believe. I have big goals. I have big goals. So like I never think I never put in my mind that I'm not gonna go to a big school. My goal always like has always been about going to a big school, and that's what makes me think like that.
So you have that mindset now. You've accomplished that. What's your next goal?
I mean, my next goal right now is to focus on the season coming up and dominate, like win and go to national championship and win the championship. And then from that, when we're done with that with my team, and then we can worry about the next step. But you know, the thing is, like while I'm doing that, focusing on all this stuff, that's gonna get me ready for the next step too, for the next level.
And AK, we talked about earlier about your approach. You had offers. You kind of took the bet on yourself, and that's something a lot of guys kind of balance out. Do they want to go to a mid-major, a low major, or even a high major, maybe sit the bench, not play a lot? Or do you take a D2? Do you take a JUCO route? For you, if there's a guy kind of debating that, deciding what option they want, how would you approach them? What's your advice to them?
You know, first off, I'll just see where I'm at as a player. You know what I mean? I'll just see what I need to work on. And if I know it's doable in like a year or two to become a high major player, I'll definitely take the chances on myself, you know, just to go for that. And the lifestyle for me, it's like, you know, you just gotta, if you want to be a pro, you gotta live like a pro. You know, you gotta eat certain things. You know what I mean? You can't do certain things. You gotta do a lot of sacrifices as well. So you really just have to like, you know, put a lot of things to the side and just work. You know what I mean? Put your head down, just work. Really.
Couldn't agree more. And Souleymane, I mean, you look at your career so far. What's the biggest thing you've now learned from your first year as a JUCO player?
From my first year, I learned one thing I learned about JUCO is like every on the court when you step on the court, everybody has to do their job. Everybody got their job. If coach said your job is to rebound and block shot and run the floor, just make sure you do that. And then different guys gonna do their job, and then we get successful. So that's what I learned in JUCO. And in JUCO, I learned that like you don't have access to everything like this, the things that Division One school have. But if you dedicate yourself and get in the gym and just take care of your body, everything's gonna work for you. Like our work is always gonna pay off. Like I realize that no matter where you at, you can still make it.
If you're talking to someone, AK, and they kind of go on with the kind of typical thing saying JUCO guys aren't this and that, what's your response to them? Why is JUCO a great option?
I mean, man, like JUCO really is like you're around people that want the same thing as you. You know what I mean? And something like that, it's almost like it's like everybody's on their last limb right now.
Mhm.
So everyone's mindset is like, yo, I got to beat this guy to get what I need. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's a dog-eat-dog world. You know what I mean? So you really got to come in with a mindset of like, yo, like, I need to handle my business. I got to do what I need to do to like separate myself from the competition and get to my best, you know what I mean? Get to the best level I can so that I can be seen and like go to a school that I want to go to at the end of the day. Because like in JUCO, it's like people look at it and be like, okay, yeah, like, you know, it's whatever. But really, like, we probably breed the best dogs for real in the basketball world.
That was actually gonna be my next question, the dog aspect. You mentioned Jimmy Butler earlier. Maybe one of the definitions of truly just being that dog mentality. That's something I know even if guys don't have that dog mentality coming to JUCO, they certainly do lead with it. When did you kind of get that? Did you have the dog mentality prior to JUCO, or did JUCO help get kind of develop that?
I mean, at first, it was like coming to America as a youngin', like, I really didn't have it for real. Like I was just coming in, you know, just like going through motions and stuff like that. So it did take me a couple years to develop. But then when I got to JUCO, that's when it really like snapped. And I was like, you know what? It's over. Like I just gotta go. I just gotta take it. And that really just comes with, you know, like the things that you go through, the experiences that you've gone through in your life. You know what I mean? And you know the stuff that you've like, you know, gone through in the basketball world too, you know, like having people doubt you, laugh at you, not even look at you as a good player, you know what I mean? Like say going to like EYBL tournaments and not even getting a single call or not even a single coach talking about you. You know, that really adds wood to the fire that's burning. So, you know, it just builds up and it just keeps building. And, you know, one day you just gotta click. You gotta be like, okay, yeah, I'm tired of this. You just gotta go after it.
For you, Sully, when did that click? When did you finally get that dog mentality?
Okay, so sometimes like back in high school, I was having some confidence problem. I don't know why. I was having a lot of anxiety, but like it was I was not consistent with it, but I always make sure I do my best and give everything. But since I went back home, I never had it. I never thought I was gonna get this opportunity. I got me very hungry, and when I'm like today I'm back here like it really started like in Thailand. Like when I was there, I developed that mindset of wow, like I never knew this was gonna happen to me. So every day I gotta take care of opportunity. I'm not supposed to let nobody outwork me. I'm gonna make sure I work harder than everybody. And then when I came to JUCO, like I went against like AK, and we got another big our school called Brian. I had to go against them every day at practice. So I had to learn how to be consistent, and that really helped me to develop it.
AK, if you guys play each other in a year, TCU with Arkansas, how's that game gonna go down?
Hey man, Sully already knows what I'm gonna do to him, man. Nah, it's gonna be crazy, man. You know what I mean? Like being able to play against someone like him at that level, it'll be amazing. You know what I mean? Like we'll probably like play the game. We're gonna go after it. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna go after each other, like we're enemies or something. But while we're off the court, you know what I mean? It'll probably just be cool. You know what I mean? But nah, that'd be insane. That'd be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. But Sully knows what I'll do to him.
All right, so what's your side? How's that game gonna go down? TCU with Arkansas in a year if that happens.
I mean, AK knows, man. when we play our practice, man, we know we be going at each other, man. I think it's gonna be great, especially at that level, man. It's gonna be great. Like it's gonna be a good game. Like it's gonna be good because we play together at the same time. We know each other's game, so we gonna try to like use each other's weakness against each other. So I think it'll be fun. And I think my team is gonna win.
It's crazy. Know about that.
Absolutely. And I mean, we talk about the JUCO guys. Jay Scrub's going straight out of JUCO, but there's a lot of guys that make it to college, then go NBA. I know it's both you guys' dreams. In 5 or so years, you see guys like L. Ellis, you guys, Langston Wilson, Mikey, a lot of these guys. How many guys do you think of these guys will be playing the NBA in 5 or so years?
With that, it's like you can't really tell because at the end of the day, the NBA, it's like It's only like 300 and something people. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know the specific number, but you know what I mean? And then there's, on top of that, it's like there's like over like 10 million basketball players around the world. And you know what I mean? There's only like, 60 spots that get picked in the draft. Or is it 60? Yeah, it's 60, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 60 spots. And, you know what I mean? Like, that's a small percentage, you know? Like, all you can really do is just, like, control what you can control and just hope for the best at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Just, like, handle your business and just take care of what you need to take care of. That's what I would say for that.
Julie, how about you? You look at a few more years. How many guys do you think could possibly be playing in the NBA, at least professionally, from just JUCO class?
Okay, so like we have a lot of guys that have very good, like, great potential of getting to the NBA. But at the end of the day, it's about like what you do off the court, because all this little stuff matters. Like, how do you treat people, other people? Like, you can be a good basketball player and then everybody knows you as a good basketball player. But when NBA scouts, when they call, they're gonna call people that's around you. Like, how you been to the people around you? That all this little stuff matters. So you can't look at basketball like a bad, because we've seen a lot of good basketball players out of high school and in college, and then we didn't see them anymore. You know, so it's all about, I think it's more about off the court. So I can't really say anything, but most of these guys you just named have really, really good chance of making it.
Couldn't agree more. I got one last question for both of you guys. AK, we'll start with you. When you are done playing basketball someday down the road, what do you want your legacy to be?
You know, I want to be somebody that can really, you know, I want to be able to put my home country on my back. You know what I mean? I want them, like the younger kids, especially in South Sudan, you know, they really don't have nothing. You know, I want them to really have somebody to look up to. So they got Luol Deng, you know, and like, you know, Thon Maker and guys like that. But, you know, I want to be a part of that and really like show them like it's really possible and you can do it. You know, just being a kid from South Sudan, like you can really do it. Just got to put your mind to it. And I want to be able to give them like the knowledge that they need and like the training that they need to be able to, you know, get an opportunity. Because it's very hard for especially a kid out of Sudan, you know what I mean? Like, there's not too many scouts that go out to Sudan, you know? And I want to be somebody that, you know, opens up a doorway for that in some type of way.
That's awesome. Stick with you on that. I've had a couple other guys from Sudan before, and I mean, it still obviously needs a lot more help in terms of basketball, getting guys out there, but just the overall impact that Luol Deng has done for the community out there, getting the NBA Cares program out there, getting more basketball just environment scouts out there occasionally. What's it like, and how much talent's out there in Sudan that you think is able to come out and play at a high level in college or pro someday?
I mean, man, like the athletes there are insane, you know what I mean? But it's just a lack of, you know, training, a lack of facilities, a lack of education, you know what I mean? Like I feel like there's so many people and so many players back home in South Sudan, like that could really like be pros, but it's just like lack of, you know what I mean, facilities and all that type of stuff. And like Luol Deng doing all that for like the kids out there, that really like motivates me to like go even harder, because that shows me like, yo, like, you know what I mean? Like someone like that, you know, you've been an all-star already, you know what I mean? You did everything you had to do. But the fact that he's giving back everything that he's done, like that really motivates me as a player, like to really want to do something like that. And at the end of the day, that's really what it's all about. It's all about just, you know what I mean, just trying to make better people, you know what I mean? Like just giving people dreams and opportunities that can really like, you know, reach and attain.
Absolutely. And Souleymane, what do you want your legacy to be when you are done playing basketball?
Okay, so you said like with AK's countries, South Sudan, like you got a lot of players from these countries, from, like that play in the NBA right now, because of the guys that came in the past, and they open the doors for the next generation. So for my country, there has never been anybody who's playing in the NBA yet, and I want to be the first one to do it. If anybody's up there, I pray to do it. But my goal is being the first one to do it and to open door for people, like people in my country, so like people can have more eyes on Ivory Coast. Because if they say Souleymane is an NBA player from the Ivory Coast, maybe they're gonna go get somebody. They're gonna go try to find talents in Ivory Coast. And I feel like in Ivory Coast, basketball is the second sport. Soccer is a first sport, and basketball is growing up over there. It's growing up like very much so. I feel like kids over there, they're very good, and they just need development. They need help, like they need development. They need opportunities. That's it. I think anybody can make it if you have opportunities. I think, yeah, they can make it.
That's a huge thing too. I mean, I think overall in the world, soccer is still the dominant international sport. But I think
Yeah,
basketball's firmly in second. Possibly could pass them up someday in the next 30, 40 years because every country's now playing the sport. When you look
yeah.
at that, I mean, how many more kids do you see or hear about wanting to play basketball as opposed to soccer earlier on?
But, like where I'm from, like in my neighborhood right now, because of me, like because of what kids I've been hearing from me, like everybody's like the new kids, like everybody starting to play basketball now. So I feel like if I'm able to make it to the NBA one day, I think it's gonna bring a lot. It's gonna bring a lot of kids like to switch sport. Like maybe they're gonna play soccer because soccer is it's like a tradition, it's like a culture. But they're gonna play basketball too, and then basketball is gonna grow up, and then that happens. That's why because like what happened with the case country is it's opened a lot of doors. Because when I think about Manute Bo and Lua Deng, I'd be like, man, if he made it to the NBA, maybe I can. All I gotta do is just keep working and believing, you know. So yeah,
And what would it mean for both of you guys then? AK will start with you to walk across that stage someday and be drafted. And that you both not only just accomplished your own personal goal, but you're kind of gonna be an icon, someone that your country looks up to. What's gonna go through your mind? What would that mean to you?
And man, like I really, that'd be just, it'd just be like it'd be another step to like my, to my goal. You know what I mean? Like it really mean like the world to me. Really, like I wouldn't know how to react right now. Like I wouldn't know what to say, but it'd just be a blessing. You know what I mean? Like it'd just be something that really like I really worked my whole life for type stuff. Like, it'd be amazing.
For you, Suli, what would be going through your mind? What would it be like to know that you accomplished that?
man, when the day I do that, the day that happens, man, it'll be great, man. I can't imagine the smile on my family's face and the people that support me. You know, it's gonna be very great, man. It's gonna be great. That's the day like I'm gonna make issues for my country, and and that's gonna be there forever. So it's gonna mean a lot to me, man.
Without a doubt, guys. Well, I definitely appreciate both of you guys for coming on today and congrats on the commitments and can't wait to see what God got next for you guys this upcoming season.
All right, thank you so much, man. We appreciate your time, man.
Of course, you guys are always welcome on. God bless.
All right, thank you, man.